Hello YouTube, Chris here. What's up everybody? Hope you guys are doing alright. I know we're still under maintenance, but it is what it is. Hopefully everything is gonna be fixed soon and we can play our favorite game together. In the meanwhile, I'm just trying to figure out what I want to talk about on the YouTube video, so if you guys have any ideas, please comment down below. And while we're on the subjects of topics, and today I'm just gonna quickly express my concern regarding the only unbalancing issue that we currently have, and that's gonna be mutations and modifications. And no, I'm not trying to say there is a huge balancing issue here, I just feel like we need some changes when it comes to monster mutations and weapon modifications, because certain ones do feel stronger than others. In one of the past interviews with VHS developers, they said that mutations and modifications are supposed to change up how the power or weapon works, but not necessarily make it stronger or weaker, which is currently not the case. Some of them do change up the weapon, and I feel like the drawback and the upside are pretty good, and then you have a couple of them which feel either way too weak or way too strong. And I feel like the main problem here comes from the stronger ones, just because usually people unlock them and then only run those. That's not how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to have a lot of options so you can choose your own playstyle, not only play the best or the most powerful one. I haven't played all that much Monster, but from my experience and from what I heard, when it comes to, let's say, Dollmaster's Teleportation, Outcast, which is one of the mutations, doesn't really feel worth running compared to Slippery, Aggressive, or even the normal Teleportation, and this is what it does. Doll Teleport will no longer use a selected doll trap, but will instead always target the doll trap that is the farthest away from the Dollmaster. But on the upside, Doll Teleport focusing time is reduced by 10%. When you're starting out, this actually feels like a good one, because you might not have a good reaction time, so being able to teleport faster and further away, where you don't really have to focus on one particular doll, because if you're still not used to the game and your reaction speed is not the best, once you're back on the body and you're not sure what to do, you're panicking, you don't manage to react in time and you don't manage to lock on the doll. And I'm gonna say I did run it, it did help me out in the beginning, but the better I became with the Dollmaster, this became a bigger and bigger handicap to me, especially because the more you play, the more you rely on your teleport to do stuff that's not necessarily escaping. So let's say you want to connect a combo and maybe catch up to somebody, and you just want to switch your location for whatever reason. Sometimes teleport is the best option, and I don't necessarily want to teleport to the furthest one. I most probably already have a room in mind where I left the doll for that particular reason. Maybe that's just my own playstyle, but I really don't see that many people running it. Yes, I get it, it's a good starter mutation, but at the same time we just need, you know, more. Another really good example that I have is on the teen side, and that is Raygun. Raygun as it is seems a bit weak. If you play the game or you've seen people play the game, a lot of us are saying Raygun does feel weak compared to other tier 1 weapons. This is what I call them, you know, the weapons that you get initially unlocked. The first row, yes, Raygun feels weaker. Maybe developers surprise us with a buff, but that's kind of off the topic. For now, let's focus at the problem. Forked shot is a modification for Raygun. When fired, the Raygun will now launch 3 shots in a forked formation. On the downside, the Raygun takes an additional 0.2 seconds to begin firing. If you've seen Raygun in action, that little shot that you have, yes, it's a really high range weapon, it does require a lot of skill, but even when you have it, it still feels a bit weak to other weapons, so there is that problem. And forked shot actually kind of fixes that, because it's much harder to miss now that you have 3 shots at the same time every time you fire it, and you still have the same amount of ammo. The only downside is that it takes a bit longer to start firing, so what you're actually losing is a lot of kiting potential. It's still possible, just harder. However, one thing is that a lot of people don't like using Raygun for kiting anyway. It's pretty hard. I do consider it a good kiting weapon, but kiting is also something that not everybody is willing to master, so if you look at it that way, you're not losing a lot, you know? If you get used to those 0.2 seconds longer that it takes you to begin firing, which you will if you use it enough, you're pretty much getting a better weapon. And if any of the devs are watching, I don't want you to take this the wrong way. Please don't nerf forked shot. This is the only thing we have. Raygun needs some love. If you buff Raygun, then yes, feel free to nerf forked shot. These are the 2 examples that I gave you, but there is a couple more in the game. I'm not saying this is something too huge or game breaking. It's so hard to get the words across. I'm just trying to help everybody out, right? Anyway, I really love this game, and what I'm doing with these YouTube videos is trying to spread awareness and my own opinion on the game. Obviously, not everything that I'm going to say is gonna be a bad thing. Maybe I'm just being really biased, but this is something that I do think about a lot, and if I feel like my input can improve the game, I'm gonna make a YouTube video on it, basically. I just want VHS to get even better so more and more people can start enjoying it once it's out. Anyway, what do you guys think? Do you feel like this is an issue? Should it be addressed, fixed? Do you have any suggestions? Let me know down below. Thank you peeps for watching. I'd really appreciate if you consider smashing that like button below, and if you don't want to miss out on any future videos that I'll be posting, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. All that said, wishing you all a beautiful rest of your day, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. See ya.